at Gwynn Oak. Let me give you guys a nice view of Gwynn Oak. It's such a beautiful place. And Twyla chose this spot, 10 years ago when King turned 1. So here we are, and he is living his best life in his older years. And that is pretty much what we're going to talk about, the bond and the relationship that we form with our beloved friends here at Doug Life. So I want to introduce the beautiful Miss Twyla and her amazing and loyal son, King. Hey, King. When's King's birthday?
July 2nd.
It's just like his mom. They right back to back. So you want to tell everyone how you and King came to be?
Yes, King actually was a birthday present. And it's so funny. I'm going to try to tell it really quickly. But I kept telling my friend, where's my birthday gift? Because I'm really serious about birthdays. And so,
okay. So back to your birthday gift.
Yeah, so I'm really, really big on birthdays. And my birthday passed, and I didn't have the present. And so I was really upset. And so maybe a month later after my birthday, like every day, pretty much, I was asking, like, hey, where's my gift? And he kept saying, like, I have it. And I'm like, where is it? So finally, this particular day, I was at my mom's house, and he said, come outside and get your present. And I got in his truck, and it was like a little box. And he was sitting in the middle, and I was not expecting a dog. So I looked down and was like, what? What is it? And he was moving. He was like this small. And so I was like, oh, thanks. I didn't ask.
What am I going to do with this?
What am I going to do? And he was like, you mentioned it before. I was thinking, that was a long time ago. So I was so scared. And he was annoyed because I kept asking for my present. So actually, I wasn't even supposed to have King. So the breeder let him take him because I kept whining about my gift.
So how long before you were supposed to actually
I
give
wasn't
him?
supposed to have him for like a month. So I had to bottle feed him.
She done had a creamy puppy and took him away from his mom.
But had he told me, I would have been, like, oh.
But now, Twyla, we know how you are about birthdays.
That's true, but if you would have told me that the present was the dog, then I would have understood that he needed to stay, because I wouldn't have wanted him to leave his mom. Like, so I thought that was like, you could have told me that.
So how has that affected you and King's bond?
He thinks I'm his mom, like his real mom. So he is, I've never seen anything like it.
Me either.
It's like my real child, like my son. Real, like everywhere I go, he's just right there. Like I have to set boundaries though. So sometimes I even have to tell him, like when I'm using the bathroom, like go out. Like I am about to do number 2. I don't want you to smell me. Like go.
And just like a child, it's like
right. And so now I notice though too that when he uses the bathroom, he doesn't want me like right on him. So now
you got boundaries in your older age, King. Nice.
So I will step back when I see he's about to poop. I'll look just so I can make sure I don't miss where he poops at. So I'll kind of look, I'll give him a little space, and then I'll walk over there and pick it up for him. So I think that's cute too.
Yeah, that you all are growing together and have this sort of, regimen, and and just him and he knows you.
Yep.
When did you bond, or you knew like, hey, that's my dog and we belong together?
I think from the first, so when I got him that day, I went in the house. My sister was at my mom's house. I literally just handed him to her because I was scared. And she was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Because my sister had London and Bentley, and those are 2 Maltese.
Really?
And so London, God bless his soul, he's passed on. He ended up dying from cancer. And so I knew dogs because of them too, so they were my nephews. But I was scared because I could give them back. But now it's like, oh my gosh, I can't give them back. What to do? But from that moment, like that night, I feel like we were just inseparable. And I always took King like everywhere with me. Also, I would drop King off to my mom. Like she was like daycare. So before I would go to work in the morning, so he always had someone. Like,
Yeah.
so
He's
wasn't
never
by
been.
himself. Right. He's pretty much, and then I would like take him wherever I could take him. I took him.
How does he do with time by himself? Does he ever stay in the house alone at all?
He does. So when I had to go to work, when I moved to Atlanta, he was in the house by himself.
How long? How many hours?
I would say like probably like 10 hours.
Wow.
From like start to finish.
Did you come home and check on him at all?
No, because I was all the way downtown. So I would catch the bus. So I would drive to like the little express transit, and then I would catch the bus. So I couldn't.
How was that, being away from him?
At first it was hard because no one was here. It was just, me and King, and it was really hard to, like, I'm like, what is he doing? I had cameras around the house but not in the house to see what he was doing. So I would think like, oh gosh, I hope he is okay. I hope he doesn't have to use the bathroom, so things like that. If the traffic ended up being really, really bad, I would ask my neighbor could they let him out, because I had given him a key.
Yeah.
So if it was just really bad, which wasn't often for me because I got up early to go to work, so I was able to get back pretty fairly early. But they would let him out if it was just really bad traffic.
And it's so important to have somebody who you can trust
Yes.
when you are away from your fur friends. I know about that all too well.
Yes. And that's why I don't, to be honest, I don't board him. I've never had. So remember all these years that I've been in Baltimore, my mom always watched him. So when I would go on vacation outside of my mom, then she would watch him. If we went on vacation together, because we typically would go out of the country once a year, me and my mom, my sister, he would go with his godmother. I know people are probably like, godmother. But yes, King has a godmother. Her name is Talithia.
Okay.
And so I would let him sit with her. So I never boarded him. I just didn't feel comfortable. He's so used to, he was only used to his cousins. He's not really big on other dogs like that. King. And then I want to talk about, I actually talked to him like a human, like since he was born. Okay, King. King. Hey. Since King was born, I always spoke to him like I would be talking to you. So if I'm going to the market, since he can't go to the market, I would say, King. Well, what I noticed first was I used to just leave and I wouldn't say where I was going.
And I always tell people how important it is when they're dropping their dogs off. Don't do all of the, just say, I'll be back.
Yep.
They get it. Yeah.
Yep. And I realized he didn't like when I left and didn't say anything. How I figured that out was like, he would start like making certain noises and stuff like that. So I guess it was nothing but God that said, just tell him, talk to him, tell him what you're doing. I noticed that once I would say like, hey, I'm going to the market, gotta get some groceries, I gotta stop and get your treats, and then he would like go like, okay. And so he was fine. And so the more and more I did it, I noticed the more and more. So he wouldn't make those noises. It would be like he gave his approval, like, oh, okay, that's what you're doing. Okay. So it's like he's at peace. But when I didn't do that, I felt like he wasn't at peace. It was like he just didn't
Tell me what's going on.
Right.
Where you going?
Right.
Yeah.
So I always though would talk to him though, like how I'm talking to you, like, hey, I'm about to make this. Oh, I'm about to do this. Oh, that. Oh, come on downstairs with me, King. Oh, like that's really how I've always talked to him though since he was a small little dog. So I always treated him like he was my like my dog, like my son. I call him my son.
What he is.
People would laugh at me, like some of my friends would like Twyla, he's the dog. I'm like, well, he is my son too. Like,
Completely.
so, you know.
You know, if nobody understands, overstands, I do. And I just want to tell you how much I appreciate someone who gets it, you know, when it comes to recognizing them as having a soul connection. My son was, 6 months? And Twyla sent out the invite, oh, King's first birthday party. And I had Max on my hip, but I also had my 2 dogs, Munchie and Gabby, at the time. And we came, it was the red carpet treatment, and all the dogs were running around. And it just made me feel so happy inside, you know, that you had found someone to connect with on such a level, and that you were doing something so extravagant to acknowledge, hey, we made it a year, it's your birthday. So tell me about that. When did you decide that, hey, I'm throwing King this amazing birthday party?
So I've always did like weddings, retirement parties, birthday parties for people, like human stuff. And so one day I was asleep and the Holy Spirit told me, like, hey, give King a party. You can do the same thing. And so I did it, and I put like my all into it the same way I would for someone's birthday, retirement, baby showers. I did. So I put my all into it the same way. So, like you said, the red carpet treatment, backdrop, like everything.
The dogs made T-shirts.
Dog T-shirts. We had games. I mean, I just did it the same way I would do anyone else, and then God ended up telling me, like, hey, stop doing all of the things for the humans. And that's where the idea of, it wasn't my idea, it was God's idea, to start King's Pawfect World, which is a business that I have where I plan parties for pets. So it definitely wasn't my idea. I had no idea that I would even be doing that. But like after me giving King, you know, he just changed my life, like for the better. And so I decided to start doing parties for pets, which I absolutely love.
And so tell us about that, because we have discussed it, and you being down in Atlanta, I think it's an amazing idea, and seeing the things that you have put together for humans. How do you like the dog
event? I love
event?
it. In the beginning, it was kind of challenging because I was new to Atlanta. I didn't know anyone, so it's like you have to try to figure out how to reach people, how to reach those dog lovers, because they are there. But again, when you're new, you have to like get out there and market yourself and just find the right people. So I've done like several different events for folks, and I really, really enjoy it. I do want to start incorporating King at some point, because the name of the business is King's Pawfect World, so I want him to be able to come in at some point. I'm just still trying to figure out how I would do that, like at parties, maybe at the end, like bring him out so that people can understand this is where my whole vision came from, King, because he has a Pawfect World to me. So.
Oh, he does. So, what is a day in the life of King? What's the perfect day? Or Pawfect day? What's a Pawfect day for King?
Now a Pawfect day for King starts with his walk in the morning, brushing his teeth. Now he also takes medicine, so I took away certain things because his sodium has to go down. We had to decrease his sodium level, so we had to change his food. Because right now he basically has a leaky heart valve. And so right now the size of his heart is the size of a 65-pound dog. So he's taking 5 different medications. He has actually 4 different medications, 4 in the morning, and he has to take 3 in the evening. And so it's different for us. It's a whole different life for King now.
Going from a young lad now to a grown man.
He's grown and has some heart challenges, but we are praying that he'll get better with the medication that he's taking and that his heart will shrink. That's what we're praying for. because I want him to live with me for a very long time.
Yes. And what's the diagnosis again?
It's a leaky heart valve, and so basically the blood is seeping back out, and it's causing his heart to work harder, and so that's why his heart has grown so big. To like he's only like 18 pounds. His heart is the size of like a 65-pound dog right now. So we're hoping when we go back, and I think he has 2 more months.
So they can see what's been going on with the medication. Yeah.
He'll go and see the cardiologist for a follow-up.
Right.
So prayerfully, he's in a better place. I'm hoping that it won't be the size of the 65-pound dog now. Hopefully,
he seems to be doing a lot better, you know, from when we had first spoke. And I just wanted to thank you again, and just the gratitude that I have. Yesterday was Munchie's birthday, and I just kind of laid around all day, you know, because it hits different when you are remembering somebody who was such a good friend and companion. And when I had to let him go, you were just one of the few people who understood what I was going through. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being there for me. And the conversation that we had, you just like, I just can't see that. I can't, but we know that it's not forever, you know, and that we have to stay in the moment. And it is just so good to see you and King. Thank you so much for showing up this morning. The weather is absolutely gorgeous, and you are beat to the gods. The face is beat, honey.
Thank you to my sister Angela.
Appreciate you for showing up.
I just there for.
Yeah,
I couldn't even imagine. I was devastated by London. You know, when my sister, because that was my nephew. I mean, that was. I had never felt like that was bad for me. I couldn't even imagine like how you felt. You know, when everybody knew Munchie. You know, it's like Tiffany and Munchie, you know. So I just before Max.
Right, you see one, and you're definitely gonna see the other. Absolutely. That's why I say, you know, all we can do is enjoy moments like these. And I'm gonna ask you, how has King impacted your life, love, self? How has he changed, or what?
I can say, oh my God, he made me like just look at myself. I realized like I didn't have to. Not, you know, I am a people's person. Like I learned how to just love myself. And man, I would be going through things and I would cry. I remember the first time crying, I think, around him, and you know, I didn't have anybody, so I wasn't used to somebody coming over to lick you, to like basically like try to help me get through it. I remember the first time that happened, and I was like I jumped, and I was like, oh, like, so it's like they know when you're sad, they know when you're happy, they know, it's like they know, it's really like a human. I never experienced that type of love. It's almost like what I hear people say with their child when they have children. That's how I feel with King. I know that he's not a human, like, I do know that. But to me, he is my son. Like, and so the same love that you guys feel in our kids, that's the love that I feel. So I don't play about kids, period. At all, period. And I remember when my sister, we were at a family gathering and a child did something to London. I remember she jumped so fast and I was thinking, oh my gosh. But now that I have King, I know how she feels, because it's like you realize they need you to protect them too.
Same energy.
Yep. So they need you. So you're gonna want to protect them.
A good fur parent will.
Yep. So it's the same with me. I don't play about King, period. So I know that he doesn't really like to be around other dogs like that because he's spoiled.
Yes.
My sister calls him Your Highness. I just think that's so funny because
it is him. Yes.
Really acts like a
And
king.
guess what? And his mother acts like a whole queen. She's a queen. And that's why we love you, Twyla. You know, and we know that our animals are an extension of us. And King is the perfect example of that. It's just great to see you today, King. I was worried about you, but I know that you're going to be okay. Because you have a really wonderful mind.
Say thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for giving my mom all those recipes.
Yes. How you doing with that?
Say, I don't like it. He's so used to.
He's used to what he's used to. Yeah. Have you incorporated any kind of raw? Does he? No, he doesn't. He won't.
He's barely even doing the new food. It's like, I mean, and I understand for all of these years, you know, he's been.
11 years is a long time.
So it's hard to make someone change, you know, something. So I try to, I definitely give him grace. My mom just says, "Father, just
Yes.
work with him. You know, you have to realize he's not used
And
to
yourself.
Yeah. Sometimes I would be a little fussy when he wouldn't take his medicine because I'm like, you want to be here with me? You know, but I had to like.
Don't guilt trip him.
Take a step back.
Nobody wants to take all of those pills every day.
I
So you know.
I had to remember that.
Mhm.
You know, I wouldn't want to take all those pills.
Are they administered through, like, you give them peanut butter with them, or like the pill poppers,
So
anything?
I tried to do the peanut butter. So I found this, what is it? Low sodium peanut butter, but I guess because it's no sodium, no nothing, it was organic. It just melts in your
Really?
hand, so it wouldn't. So
It
even
wouldn't
put in
hold
the
it
fridge,
like a
wouldn't
good
hold it
consistency.
at all. So that was a waste of money. It just falls right out. So all you see is the pill. But I was, I'm trying to, because of the sodium piece. I'm looking at every single thing and ingredient. So I'm like, this is the perfect one, but it's not working. So I had to start using the pill poppers.
Right.
Because.
Well, as long as he's able to take them in some form, now paying close attention or to his diet, has it forced you to look at the way that you consume food and the same?
It does, because it made me think about just what I eat too. To be honest, I've been struggling with my diet for a long time, but then to have to change things, it makes me like, okay, if he has to do it, I need to do it too. I should have been actually doing it. I just didn't realize that his food, had so much sodium in it. I was thinking I was giving him the best food ever.
Absolutely.
And then you realize sometimes it's not, what you think.
Conducive to their health.
Right.
And when I went to do the research about his condition, and it just led me down a rabbit hole of food and how dog food really has no restrictions, and how much junk is just out there, and people are buying it.
And they have no clue. They wouldn't know, because there's a lot of good dog parents. So I feel like if they knew, they wouldn't do it. So now I realize when it's not on the back, because they're not required to put the sodium.
No.
I literally have to call the manufacturer. You're praying that they're telling you the truth, because honestly, that's what my mom was like. How do we know
that they even giving
what
you?
they're telling you is correct?
If they're not required to list it on the packaging, then why are they required to tell you, hey, this is what's inside of your dog's, meal?
Go running, taking off.
Too many squirrels out here, King. So we were talking about dating, and how does King feel about that?
I don't know, because I haven't met any. Dating in Atlanta is not for the weak. I don't even know what to really say. It's hard.
I felt like when I left, the ratio of men, heterosexual, it was tough.
Right. And I think that's the other thing about it. Like, we have to be very careful, because, you don't know what people are into. So some of these guys, they say they want to be with women, but really they are still dating
Experimenting.
men. Yeah, so I pretty much right now just focus on the business and just traveling and making myself happy. And so I'm just like, Lord, when you're ready, please. And I definitely, because I wanted to be the right person. So I no longer try to take control of that. I'm like, God, I'll work on me. So I'm working on me. You work on whoever you have for me. So that'll be the perfect husband for me.
Because love has no limits. And even though you may think that you want something in the right now, you can't put a time on it. You can't put a time on connecting with someone. And I don't know about Atlanta. I don't know what to say. I just know that I left and I never looked back. I would like to go and visit some of the other areas. I never went to Savannah. So I would like to see what that's about, especially the food scene.
Would you ever come back?
It wouldn't be Atlanta. It wouldn't be the metropolitan area. It would definitely have to be.
Because I'm an outskirts.
Yes. So how do you like that? Is it quiet? It is. Yeah.
So I like that piece. So if I want to go down and try all those nice restaurants that they have, I just head on down to the city for that piece. And then
You have a nice sister circle.
I do.
Oh, nice.
I have a really good. God really placed good neighbors around me. I have really good neighbors, and I've met a lot of really good women.
Do they say that they're facing the same
issues? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the ones that's not married, yes, it's the same for them. Yeah.
You have a lot of married friends.
I do.
Yes.
I have both. I have like married and single.
So they don't have like friends like, okay, I'm gonna introduce you, the organic way of
It's
dating.
hard.
Twyla, you
so-
just picky.
I am. But I mean, I want what God has for me, so I feel like I shouldn't just settle for anything. So
And you shouldn't.
so I'm okay. Like I love myself and I love King. I always say I have myself and King and God, of course. So it's like we're good until it's the right person. Like I'm not. I can say I definitely want companionship and I want to be married actually. But I wanted to be the right person. So I'm willing to wait. Like I'm not desperate. So it's like yes, I wanted. That's the desire that I had. Yeah. But I definitely wanted God to be in there. So I wanted to be the right person at the right time. So if I mean I gotta wait a little bit more longer, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Now, how do we know each other, Twyla? Do you remember when you and I first met?
Oh my gosh, we went to Weston together, but I don't remember. Is that a deer? I'm sorry. That's a deer. You see it? Right there, up there.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh.
And I guess because the time of the year it is, it's so nice out, kind of bold. Yeah, I would imagine them to be up here somewhere.
I'm trying to remember the exact though.
We met in English, or was it Miss Westmoreland? Was it chemistry or English?
No, I think it was English.
It was English. You were downstairs.
Miss Westmoreland.
Well, I'm gonna pull out because I have a picture that you and I took.
Wait a minute, yeah, let me see.
I have a picture, and
But King, tell me about
yes,
it.
I'm gonna show the pictures. You're gonna have to share King's birthday pictures too, so I could show everyone all the extravagant things that you've done for him over the years. What was the birthday party for King that stood out the most?
For sure. But wait a minute, we were in Miss Westmoreland's class. I'm trying to remember the word.
And English was
Miss Walsh.
I don't remember having Miss Walsh.
Oh, Miss Winhouse.
Did we have Winhouse? So Winhouse I had as homeroom, and then I had her. No, this was somebody downstairs, and maybe it was.
Miss Westmoreland was.
Maybe this was like literature or something, creative writing, because I remember us doing like Shakespeare and other things.
Oh, wait a minute, Miss Pariello.
Miss Pariello.
It was so sweet.
And now here we are, 20 years later, more than 20 years later.
Yeah, oh my God.
And I always tell people that we had a true sisterhood, and it's priceless with the relationships that we still have and maintain today. I would never think that back then, hey, me and Twyla would be sitting here doing a podcast talking about our dogs. And I am so grateful, and I thank you so much again for blessing us.
Thank you for having us, right, King? Say thank you. Thank
Love you, King
for
King.
having us.
Thank you, Max. Of course. We do this for all our family. All for our family.
Thank you so much, Max.
King say open. You're like, what is this? So this is the Snugger Duck. And I know that he's a larger dog now. But maybe sometimes when he wants to get up on you and, you know, just feel beat the beat, heart to heart, you could use that. And I hope that he will. I know that he will. He'll be here for years to come. King,
Love you, Nosy. King.
he said he's got a whole lot of life left. And we love you, King.
We love you, King.
So a Snugger Duck sling is a sling that you can carry your dog anywhere, anytime. So if you want to bring him out in public and you want him to be comfortable, just bring the Snugger Duck sling.
Thank you, Max. I appreciate that.